Ladies and gentlemen, tighten up those belts. It is time for Wheels Up.
If I fucked around as much as you did, this would never get.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know. Nobody fucking cares. I'm the only one.
Then maybe loosen up.
I'm cold.
Tighten up those belts. We got a tight ass.
I'm not gonna lie. That was good.
Welcome back to Wheels Up Wednesday. I am not Matt Omick, of course, but again, 2 weeks in a row, Jason Irwin here. Alongside me, Spencer Hill. How you doing tonight, Spencer?
I'm doing good, Jason. Unfortunately, some sad news coming out this week on Monday as we learned that Austrian Formula One champion Niki Lauda has passed away. The three-time world champion received a lung transplant last year and was hospitalized with the flu in January. His family says that he died peacefully in his sleep, surrounded by family. Of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to them over there in Austria. Niki Lauda was 70 years old.
Wow, well, I was in a good mood. Anyway, man, I know you had a lot going on this weekend. I know what you did, but not all your viewers did. You want to fill us in?
Yeah, we went back to Sandia Speedway for the sprint car races out there. New Mexico Motor Racing Association was back, and I was back behind the wheel of the number 11 Grammy's Kitchen SEH Motorsports non-wing sprint car. It was a good time. Finally, no more brake issues, so I'm happy about that. Heat race went okay. I think I could have hustled the car a little bit better, got a better result on that one. P4 in that. We went for the Dash for Cash. I started pole, won the Dash for Cash. That's a good confidence booster going into the next couple of weeks. And then in the main event, I was actually rolling pretty good. I feel like we had a good setup for a long run type deal. But just a few laps into the race, I got collected with another driver that kind of bounced off the wall and ran down the track. Right into me, really. And I got knocked into the big tractor tires that should be on racetracks and knocked the front end a little loosey-goosey, ripped the front bumper off, so I had to play really patient and nursed it to a 10th place finish. But sometimes that's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do. I mean, you know, most dirt tracks do have the tractor tires, so
I hate it, though.
Part of it.
I don't understand why tractor tires are necessary.
If they weren't there, you'd be digging in the infield next to the light poles.
Nobody's digging in the infield
at
Sandia.
I would be.
There ain't nobody. If you're going to do something like that, they need to do those little tires that are like sticking halfway out. That like Las Cruces used to have them. There's a lot of tracks that have those.
Right.
That or build up a little curb with dirt, like how Chili Bowl does.
Yeah. No,
it's a simple solution. You aren't going to tear up race cars. Tractor tires, they need to get the hell out of there. That pissed me off.
You hit one, your front end's junk.
And you know what? I would have been less mad at myself if it was my fault and I like clipped it in the middle of a corner or something trying to get more. But I literally had nowhere to go, and I got turned down into one, and then that's what ruined the race. I mean, I was starting pretty deep anyway, but I'm going to call that as what ruined my race. So, yeah.
Good old Spencer Hill.
Tractor tires are not on my happy list.
Good old Spencer Hill giving us that excuse after a weekend, so always good to have that here on Wheels Up Wednesday.
Well, if I didn't give an excuse, then
what is there to give, right?
Yeah, that's not Spencer Hill.
Then why else did you run 10th? I mean,
yeah, exactly. There's a reason.
There's always a reason. So glad we could bring that to you guys live here on Wheels Up Wednesday.
Kind of live.
Anyway, though, other than that, I know you have a lot of racing coming up. You're going to be a very busy man in June, as well as working full-time. I'm not even going to be able to probably see you in June, so this is going to be a good episode.
Yeah, this is going to be our, I guess, what would that even be called? Not a maiden voyage, that's what I was trying to say. But I guess our last chance.
Yeah, no, we're probably still going to hang out quite a bit on the reel, though.
But yeah, no, I have a lot of racing coming up, racing every weekend in June, and in fact... little bit of breaking news on here. No one really cares that much, but I'm trying to put the micro sprint together to maybe make a run down at Canyon this weekend.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. And if you did that, you'd be on the road 6 weeks in a row, which is you're going world about laws racing damn near. So.
Yeah, We're going Outlaws racing. You really are going Outlaws racing this weekend, though.
Yeah.
With 3 races. How's the weather looking for that?
It's kind of clearing up. It's looking better. So still kind of a little sketchy. So hopefully we're able to get all 3 nights in. Put the cars together today. Got them all ready to get set up tomorrow. So just got to do setup and cut tires. But really looking forward. Got Gary a good piece going up. He finished second in Masters Division last year. Really trying to get one more spot better to win the Masters points. For myself, I'd really like to put together 3 good nights. You know, obviously you want to win every race, but if we can go up there and win the Rumble and the Rockies again, that'd be a huge deal.
Yeah, no need for excuses if you win it.
No, not really. So, except for the night where we were in third last night, or the first night we were there last year. So
yeah, there's always something. It's always something.
But
moving into some racing news.
Yeah, speaking of racing, since I was kind of just joking, you're on the Outlaws Tour. They had a really busy weekend this weekend. What happened in Williams Grove?
Yep, Morgan Cup action over at Williams Grove Speedway. Night number 1 going to David Gravel. Good race there. Of course, when you get to Williams Grove, the big thing over there is the PA Posse versus World of Outlaws. And if you don't know what that is, the PA Posse is basically their local group of central Pennsylvania drivers. And the fan base around there really gathers around them. And they rally around their local drivers. They push for them to beat the Outlaws. 2 of the biggest names over there, Danny Dietrich and Lance DeWeese, put up a great fight this weekend, too, with the World of Outlaws. In fact, Lance DeWeese taking the win on night number 2 of the Morgan Cup and out-dueled Donnie Schatz to do that, putting the PA Posse in victory lane.
That's got to be such a big deal to, like, go run with the Outlaws Tour. I know they're coming to, like, one of your tracks, and, like, you really want to show those guys, like, look, when you guys come here, we really can compete. And to be able to go out there and beat Donnie Schatz and win on night 2, that is super impressive.
Yeah, and those guys, they work really hard throughout the year. A similar thing, the only thing that I can really compare it to is the people that roll to the Knoxville Raceway for, like, a full year to try to get ready for the Knoxville Nationals and do really good. Person that did that for many years was Brian Brown, and he is amazing at the Knoxville Raceway now. Now, of course, he runs with the Outlaws just to get some more seat time more consistently, but it does matter to them, and the PA Posse is one of the best groups out there as far as fan base goes.
Yeah, it is big. David Gravel on night number 1, really good race. He worked the bottom for so long to finally get the lead, and then he went to the top and was actually able to extend the lead. That car just super hooked up, almost untouchable once he got to the front, though.
Yeah, David Gravel, of course, an amazing job over there. Looked good both nights, really. Lance DeWeese just looking a little bit better. Seems like he had really good forward drive, too, as well. It's kind of a weird track over there. It's really long straightaways, tight corners, so handling is a must over there.
It is. The cool thing to me when the sprint cars go there is they pull the right front down the straightaways, and then they set them in the corners. Just all that wing getting the air down the straightaways, lifting the front and off the ground. Pretty wild.
And polar opposite of that is when we go see USAC National Sprint Car Series in action, where they're usually pulling the left front up off the ground. Not a lot of that happening for the National Sprint Cars this weekend, as the race was called early over at Tri-City Speedway in Granite City. And they were not happy about that, Jason. I know you probably didn't hear too much of this storyline, but literally just a couple sprinkles fell onto the speedway, and they called the entire night of action. And I guess some teams like stayed there and worked on their cars for the next weekend or whatever. And a little bit later in the night, about 10 o'clock, they were letting some Silver Crown car go out and just turn laps. And the track was kicking up dust in a rain-out track. So people were unhappy. Of course, that affects so many. Not only does it affect the fans, but all these drivers and crews, they're traveling for a living. So when they don't get a race in, they aren't getting paid that night. Basically, imagine going to work, working a full 8, 10-hour day, whatever, and then just the guy at work saying, hey, that was...
You tried.
Yeah, thank you for your work. We ain't going to pay you, though.
Yeah.
So that hurts.
That is a bummer. Rainouts are always no fun, especially when they don't really need to be rained out, when they could have probably waited out and then ran the show. But we also had the midgets racing this weekend. Another race, kind of the same story what we've been seeing, though. Tyler Courtney goes to victory lane again in Granite City. 4th win in 6 races. He is really on a roll right now.
Yeah, the midgets did get a race in this weekend, and that was good news for Tyler Courtney. Sunshine looking unstoppable right now in USAC midget action. He pulls the victory there. 4th win in 6 races, like you just said. pretty unstoppable there. And now looking over at something a little closer to home here in Albuquerque, Southwest Series action for USAC saw Stevie Sussex win at Casa Grande with multiple blown tires in that event. It just seems like everyone was blowing a right rear tire over there, just kind of rubbered down. And it was an odd situation over there because that track usually is in pretty decent shape.
So, for the guys who don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but when the tracks get super slick and rubber down, the right rears just get so much heat, they finally blow out, correct?
Exactly. It's really similar to, I guess, in asphalt racing, what you would experience when you blow a bead. It's just the heat from the tire builds pressure, and then eventually got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
They don't build them too strong, you know. But yeah, rough deal when you blow a right rear. I know a lot of drivers blew it while leading too, so that hurts a little bit extra, and they're not cheap either.
No, I mean, I don't really think a lot of those guys are concerned with the cheap factor when you're leading a race.
Probably not over there in Arizona. That 410
too,
series over there is pretty stout.
Usually the guys leading the race are pushing it the hardest, so those are going to be the first ones to go.
Another one pushing it really hard this weekend, though, was Kyle Busch in the Truck Series over the Charlotte Motor Speedway. 5th win in 5 tries, Jason. That's huge.
It is huge. I mean, he was unstoppable this year. That was his last truck race of the season. He went 5 for 5. He paired up with Rudy Fugle at the start of the season. He put himself with the best crew chief, the best team, so they have the opportunity to learn the most about their trucks for their other drivers. Great move. They wanted to win some races, but they also want to get the best information that they can for their teams moving forward. 5 for 5, hard to beat it.
That is hard to beat. And I think it's an interesting move because you see Rudy Fugle, he's won the championship so many times in the past 10 years. And to put him on a truck that doesn't have a full-time driver in it, it was a kind of a bold decision, I think, by Kyle Busch. But I think it allowed him to truly figure out where they were as an organization, especially with teams like GMS right now who just won the championship. They're really strong. They needed a period right now to kind of figure out exactly where they were and how they can get better. Do you think that was a good move by them?
I do. I think for a couple reasons. I think for one, I think Kyle really wanted to get to 200 wins at the start of the season. So just to kind of ensure like he was going to have a better opportunity, I think he wanted to be in better trucks. And for two, that's how they learn the most about their truck. So if they get the most information out of that team with the best driver, the best crew chief, I mean, they might as well put those trucks out there. And he ran Martinsville, which is a short track, and then he ran some 1.5 miles where they can work on their aero package and their handling there. So, I mean, to put him in the truck to win 5 for 5, pretty impressive. I'm sure they learned a lot, and they'll be able to apply that to their 2 other trucks that are running for championships later in the season and see if it pays off.
And speaking of the Charlotte Motor Speedway, we had one of the most fun races of the season with the NASCAR All-Star Race happening this weekend for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. The name that everyone probably didn't expect in Victory Lane this weekend ended up there with Kyle Larson making it from what he called the B-Main.
Yeah, Kyle Larson, really, I knew he was fast. Like, watching the open race, he was really quick, and like he almost won stage 1, almost won stage 2, but just came up just short, and then finally was able to get stage 3. But I want to talk about the open race for a minute. That was probably one of the most exciting open races we've seen in a while.
Yeah, no, it was incredible.
I mean, we had last lap passes, hitting fenders off turn 4, banging doors coming to the line.
Mexicans sliding through the grass. It was crazy.
And the funny part is, it's like the guy who finished second, that's got to come in and pit, and they're beating his fenders out with hammers, and then he's got to go to the rear of the field and try and win the next segment in 20 laps. And it was crazy to see what those guys would do. And then Bubba Wallace, really like so emotional. I don't know if you saw his interview. He was in tears when he asked, like, they're like, congrats on your win. He's like, I can't believe we're here. And he started busting out in tears, which is so cool.
And he's had a rough time the last couple of weeks, so I think it's really important to take that into consideration, too. Of course, he's been pretty open about his personal life and struggling with some issues. So it was so cool to see him have a really good run out there. And that one wasn't given to him, Jason.
No, he definitely worked for that. He came up just short in segment 1, and then segment 2, he fought for it. Again, a last lap pass to get into the show for Richard Petty Motorsports, which isn't really like a top team out there, and he's able to drive them into the race and have a shot at $1 million later that night.
And the All-Star race itself was great, too. I mean, we saw probably some of the best racing we've seen in a 1.5 mile track, maybe in the last, 5-8 years?
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch, kind of the 2 faster cars, but they got put behind on some pit strategy. Other guys took 2 tires, and I know Harvick had a loose wheel at one point in the race. But other than that, I mean, there were like really good racing, good passes. Seemed like very, very good, which we saw there last year at the same package. So that track just provides what this package calls for.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of right time, right place, too, with how they approach that track with the package. And I like what they did this year, too, with the new aero ducts and the radiator ducts now in the hoods. I think it really did its job. And the new splitter, of course, too, with 2 3/4-inch holes in the front of it to allow some dirty air under the car.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see what NASCAR's trying to do. Obviously, they're probably trying to work on their package for next year and see what this one races like. So, I mean, a lot of the same guys were at the front, which is kind of expected. Those teams are always able to kind of figure it out right away. Kevin Harvick, again, really fast. Kyle Busch, really fast. I'd look for them in the Coke 600 to probably be the favorites as well.
And speaking of the Coke 600, we're going to talk about that and a lot of the other really exciting action that's coming this weekend for the best race weekend in motorsports. Coming up next with Devon Amos. We're going to have to go to a quick break, but like I said, right after that, we're going to talk to him. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Wheels Up. This episode of Wheels Up Wednesday is brought to you by Distinct Inc. With all the best apparel brands known to man and unmatched customer service, Distinct Inc. is no doubt the way to go. They cover us here at Wheels Up Wednesday, and they should cover you too. Distinct Inc. Go online now at www.distinctinc.com. Email them today at distinctinc@gmail.com or call them at 505-290-0793. That's Distinct Inc. Tell them we sent you. Join us now on the show, Devon Amos and surprise guest Cody Dons. Devon, you were scheduled to race this weekend, but what happened?
Didn't work out, man. So I got this fuel injection thing we've been trying to figure out, and dude, it's been a pain, dude. Can't get it figured out.
Yeah, and that's on the 25 car, right?
Yeah, on my car.
Your
so
car.
We couldn't get it figured out, and I thought I had it running, like I got it running, and we had something wrong, and I blew the computer up on it somehow. I don't know how.
The computer just blew up.
Like I was sitting there trying to start the thing, and then I heard this pop, and I saw a bunch of smoke out of the computer.
Did fireman Cody Dons come to the rescue?
No,
He
but I
wasn't
did
there.
inspect the computer afterwards, and like it's cracked across the top. Like it's not good. It literally blew up.
Yeah, it's in bad shape.
Yeah, no, I was full sprint over there. From my parents' house, about 5 miles away. Got there in about 2 seconds. I was the one that pulled the computer out, and the driver.
It's a true story.
Yeah, no.
If you missed that Wheels Up Wednesday last
need to go
season,
back.
you got to go back and check that one out. I'm not sure what episode it was, but fireman Cody Dons, he's out there saving lives.
Yeah, you kind of have to, man. That's just what it is.
But a rare situation because you weren't able to race. For the first time in a long time, we saw Cody get behind the wheel. How'd that one go?
Well, it started off pretty rough, I was got the car buttoned up for Devon, and I had a little too much to drink the night before, so I I really messed up the carburetor. So I went out there for the heat race. I was only running on one carburetor, but it was fun because I got to race with my sister that I haven't raced against in 2-3 years, and we were literally going like this. And finally, she pulled on me and literally sent me to the tires on the infield, which I don't blame her, but it's kind of a dick move. And then the main event came out. I just threw a shit ton of forward biting in her, and I was literally coming off.
Let her in.
I was literally coming off the straightaway doing a wheelie. My dad said.
Like me the last time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I sent it up top around Robert Turner, and he said he saw the bottom of my car because I biked up so hard, but I didn't know because I didn't have the power or anything like that. So I just was like,
And you were so hungover, you thought you were just driving normally.
I was so hungover, it wasn't even funny. Like. Everybody was like,
I don't know if you want to put that out on the
I'm sorry, but like even my mom was like, dude, like what is wrong with you? I was like, we're good. We're just not gonna talk about it.
Still finished third.
Yeah, and went podium.
Yeah, went from 9th to 3rd. I was in 2nd to a yellow came out, and then Robert Turner's dad. I can never remember your name. I'm so sorry. I'll just call you Mr. Turner. But
Is it Randy Turner?
I think so. I don't know. But
Mr. Turner to me too.
Yeah, Mr. Turner. He actually ran a very good race in his son's old car. He got around me, and him and Brianna kind of just pulled away from me. And I was falling out of the seat a little bit. I got out. I could not move my hands. But it was really good to see.
I love those races, dude.
I know.
Like
Dude,
when you get out, you're
When
just
you get
worn
the
out.
massive arm.
Yeah. You're just
Jesus.
like, man, I worked for that one.
Yeah, but
You know?
no, Brianna and Mr. Turner, they did really, really, really good. And so did Kaylee, actually. I gotta give it to her.
Devin, when are you going to get back on track? When you fix the computer?
That's a good question. I don't know. When's the next race at San Diego? I don't know.
June 1st, I think.
Probably that one.
Okay.
Probably that one.
Man,
I don't know.
If my micro's together, maybe I'll come run with you guys. Too.
Let's go.
That'd be
Dude,
fun.
I'll let
That'd be
Devin run
awesome.
against you, buddy.
Let's go.
What?
I'll give him the 24C car and have
It's a fast car.
very fast
It's a
car.
very fast car.
Especially with the good drivers in it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. If you want to go head to head, so you can come back here and discuss about who put who in the wall. Go ahead.
Well, by the way, you had a little scramble.
Apparently, but we got to talk that in the end. It was just kind of one of those things where he was up top. I didn't see him, so I slid up, and he didn't get out of the gas because he didn't want to. And he got up over. Luckily, nobody was hurt.
We're talking about Eric Smith.
Yeah, Eric
I didn't hear this story.
You
What
didn't?
happened?
So I slid him for second place, I think it was, and he said he got a handful of grip, didn't want to lift, and I was already up in front of him, and he hopped over my right rear and barely touched the wall, and kind of got over.
Did he flip?
Yeah, well, no, he's kind of wallied it apparently. He just hit the wall real hard and just kind of tipped.
They brought a red flag out at Sandia, so it was pretty serious.
Yeah, and then we came around full speed because there's no flagman in 1 and 2. And me and Robert Turner were side by side, and there was a Razor that was just parked there. And the guy was all, stop! And so I'm locked up completely sideways, and Turner's trying to turn up into me, and I'm trying to turn down. It was almost very bad.
Hey, your mom's calling you.
Yeah, hold on. Hey, Mom, doing Wheels Up Wednesday.
Okay, you say
You're on Wheels Up Wednesday.
Hi, Leanne.
Hi, Leanne.
She's a little mad. Her first day at college. She's probably wondering what I'm doing.
Yeah, first day of college for Cody. Wow. Never thought I'd say those words my entire life. Before I digress into that crazy world of whatever you got going on over there, I do want to talk to you, Devin, a little bit about what we have coming up this weekend with the best weekend of racing in the world.
Oh yeah, what do we got? The
So we got Monaco.
We got Monaco's first, then
then
the
we
Indy
have
500, then the Coke 600.
and then the
You gonna
Indianapolis
watch all?
500.
You gonna watch all three?
No way.
No.
I'm trying to race in Phoenix this weekend.
Uh,
And if it does come together, which I don't know, it's pretty last. I don't have a motor in the car yet,
right.
so it's pretty last minute. But if it did, if it does come together, from Hamlin,
Fuck you.
if it does come together though, it's gonna be like a last minute deal, and I won't have time to watch all of them.
Yeah.
But of course, replays for sure.
Yeah.
Any race fan out there knows that it's like the best weekend ever.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm like a huge Formula One fan, so like that's one of the biggest ones. You ever watch that race, like the Monaco
I
race?
have, yeah.
I mean, I think it's
cool.
It's the prestige behind it. It's what it is. And it's like just you're in like walls the whole racetrack, so it's like very small margin for error. So I don't know, and I love Formula One. It's just really cool. Cars
I
are
know
cool.
you do love Formula One, and it's so interesting because for the first time, well, not really the first time, but a big name gets dropped out of the Indianapolis 500 this
Fernando.
year
Yeah.
with Fernando Alonso getting bumped on Sunday on bump day at the Indianapolis 500. Do you think that hurts his career?
No, man. He's done so much, and he'll just come back next year. It's crazy for McLaren though. You think they'd come? They'd have a faster car. I don't know. I guess it's just experience in the.
I think it's just hard to get into IndyCar. Cody, you can jump in whenever you want on this too.
Yeah,
but,
get in there.
get in there.
What's up, guys?
Paying attention.
Do you
though.
want? Do you like? What do you do?
I do like the Indy 500 just because of the names behind it or how big the race is.
Yeah.
Monaco, I want to kind of jumping on that. I love Monaco to death. Absolutely love it to death. I think it's just where it's at, how they run through the streets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
it's
think like it's
Badass.
It is badass.
It's awesome. And then at night with all the scenery and stuff. Like, have you ever gone to Monaco?
I would love to. Like that's I want to go there so bad.
Yeah. Everything is the
Have you been to
whole
Monaco?
track. No, my buddy has. I mean, actually, my uncle. Sorry, Mario. And he was telling me how it's like 5-star restaurants.
Did he meet Luigi over there?
My uncle come over here and whip your ass.
Your uncle loves me.
Not after I tell what you just told him.
Okay.
Anyways, I guess along the whole thing of the races, it's 5-star hotels and everything.
it's
like it's just prestige.
Yeah, Monaco has like the most millionaires in the world, I guess, per.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that would have been a good stump the bus.
No, maybe next time.
How close is it to the water? Back straight away. How close is it to the water?
28 feet.
You're dumb.
I don't know that
It's
one.
like a block.
I don't know. No, it's pretty close.
Is it pretty close?
Yeah, if someone got turned upside down, they could probably end up in there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, have you ever seen like Iron Man?
Yep.
Yes.
Iron Man?
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
That's Monaco.
Yeah, that's Monaco. Like,
Yeah,
he goes from like a really prestigious place and just walks out to the track.
Right.
If
Yeah.
something gets up and over and into one of those places, that's $1 million place that they just wrecked into.
Well,
It's
they
awesome.
did have. I don't know if it was a Formula One car, but didn't they have a something like that? Was it Formula 3 maybe? Get up in the air and hit a photographer's stand earlier this year?
Yeah, where was that? I saw that. It was a girl.
Yes.
And
but-
she broke her. I think she broke her back or something.
Oh yeah,
I don't
she
know
got
for sure,
herself
but I
pretty
remember
fucked
seeing
up.
there was this long straightaway, and she came down the straightaway and like got air, dude.
Really?
It
It
was
was bad.
crazy.
It was really bad.
Crazy.
The only races I watch Indy 500, the end of any NASCAR race, because I think they're too long and boring.
I know, and dude, and this weekend is the longest one. So,
I know. I don't watch racing. I like watching dirt racing because it's short, sweet. There's a lot of action.
dude, funny story for race fans out there. So I went to the Coke 600.
Okay.
I went to it. I saw the first 200 laps, and I went home and I watched the rest of it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, when I lived
so
in
that's when you were
Charlotte.
living out there.
Yeah, when I was in Charlotte. Yeah.
But to be honest,
It's a long race, dude.
I don't know how people can, like, I'm sorry, Spencer. I don't know how you can sit there for 500 laps and watch that whole race.
Oh, I love it.
I cannot sit there and just watch people go around forever.
Well,
I
if
like
the
last-
racing's good, then, you know, it's
I
different.
missed the Coke. I wish I watched that because it seems like it was pretty interesting. But seriously,
The what?
it's the last race, the monster race, whatever it is.
The All-Star race?
The All-Star
Okay.
race, the monster
Yeah,
You
race.
missed
Larson.
the Coke?
The Coke race. I said Coke race. My bad.
Okay.
Anyway, the last five, like I watched the last 10 laps of any race,
Okay.
except for dirt racing. Dirt racing is
You could
exciting
watch the
all
whole
around.
thing, yeah.
But I
It's because the
watched
races
last
are shorter.
Yeah, I think that dirt racing has the best product right now for television.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think if they got a major TV deal with like FS1 or ESPN, whatever you want to call
it'd
it,
be huge.
it'd be huge. I think
Yeah.
it'd be like Thursday Night Thunder used to be, but just times 10. I think it'd be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be huge. But I do love the fact that dirt racing, like, because it's still, like, smaller than NASCAR, that's why it's so good. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I love about it. I don't want it to get, like, commercialized and, you know, they're going to blow it out of proportion. Because NASCAR used to be great, dude. And now we're trying to get back there.
To be honest, I hate NASCAR. I hate NASCAR. The only reason.
Well, they just got to make the product better.
I
That's
like
all.
Larson. That's the only person I like out
But
there.
you know, have you seen how he's done all year?
I hate Formula One.
But there's a different race in Formula
Well, you
One.
don't understand NASCAR.
NASCAR looks the same, and they're just millionaires.
You're literally describing Formula One.
no,
Dude.
Look at everything that's in.
Do you know how much a Formula One car costs?
That
$12 million
stupid
race
money.
car. Isn't that insane?
Okay, but they have a thing behind the driver's seat that spins. Tell me what that's.
Yeah,
like.
I forget what that is, but it spins like ridiculous speed, like right behind their head, like insane. I don't know.
It sucks them to the ground. NASCAR puts holes for dirty air underneath their car. Come on,
Yeah, you can actually get side by side in NASCAR.
dude. You
When-
can
but
hot
there's a
tires.
different-
It's like a sprint car. You can hot tires.
I understand that it's a
There's a
different type of
different
race
race.
with strategy
There's
involved.
a different race.
But that's why I like NASCARs, because it's side by side racing. You get beaten and banging, and when someone gets loose, that's a cool moment. But that's not the highlight of the whole
I
fucking
hope you
race.
show that guy fucking wailing on the guy on the inside. That's the only reason I
Boyer.
watch NASCAR.
Yeah,
I
that
watch
was
it for the
great.
fights. I watch dirt racing for the fights. I like flipping, carnage, anything. I like side-by-side racing. In Formula One, you got Lewis Hamilton and what's that other guy that's now up there with him?
And they ain't
Vettel,
ever gonna fight because they're
Verstappen.
pussies.
They're pussies. Okay. I like the cars.
The cars are cool.
Cars
I'll
are
say
amazing.
they're
cars
really
are
amazing.
badass, and I guarantee you, like one of us couldn't drive those cars.
Fuck no.
Do you know how hard it is to drive those cars?
Dude, Lewis
you know the
Hamilton.
G's they pull just braking?
You know what else is
They pull
stupid?
6 G's just braking.
No,
When
I'll
they
tell
li-
you- I'll
get
tell you
when
this.
Go to Spa and then come back and look at a NASCAR track and then you fucking...
Chill
Oh,
out, Belgium.
But go to Spa and look at that track and look at everything that it is.
Listen, another reason why I don't like Formula One is the driver comes on. Excuse me, the car is a little bit loose over here in the turn 1 area. and the crew chiefs go, boop, 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 fixed.
Okay,
Not
and you know
at
what
all.
NASCAR drivers do?
Not at all.
Kyle Larson bump me down the straightaway and
Fuck that. They're a bunch of pussies, like that guy said. I want him just. What did he say?
NASCAR drivers are pussies. Clint Boyer will
Okay.
rock your ass.
No, okay, they fight with their helmets on. What kind of racers do that?
Newman didn't.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Dude, he got rocked. Did you see him? He got him good. I'm telling you,
Dude,
he got him.
Newman got his face punched
He
in,
got
and
him
he just
good.
came out like this.
Oh,
Just
he
like
got him.
ogre style.
Oh, dude, he got him real good.
does he really? Oh, see, I just, okay, I like the cars. I love the cars of Formula One, and I like how much they changed. Even
That's okay, but that's what I'm saying. Like Formula One cars, there's a race within the race. So you're trying to like change your car and the aerodynamics to catch your competitor. So it's the car too. You know what I mean? And that's the cool thing I like about it.
What's cool about NASCAR is you get that plus like side by side racing.
Where do you see any difference in the cars?
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
as
There's
far
nothing
as-
different with the race cars.
I don't understand the question.
Well, there's also like that's what I'm saying. Like Formula One, there's another race, a technical race within the race cars, and that's what
you
I
get
like.
that
'Cause
in
you
NASCAR
got-
too, except
There
you
you go.
also get like badass.
Okay, look at the steering wheel of
Like-
a Formula One car. How much does that steering wheel cost in a Formula One car?
It's $50,000.
I'm not saying they aren't cool cars.
They
I'm
sit
just
there-
saying that's
Wow.
not.
They
Well,
race, they sit
no,
there
but the
and
thing I'm
fuck
telling
with
you is
everything.
like one of the things I do. Like I look at the aerodynamic bits. Like they change those cars week to week to tweak each track. You don't see
So does
that.
NASCAR.
No, you don't.
Oh yeah.
Barely.
Oh yeah.
But not
Okay,
enough for a
dude.
fan to be able to just sit back and look at the car and be like, yeah, that's different.
I
from last
guarantee
week.
you, more than 80% of the fans at a Formula One race have no idea what's going on. They go there because it's like a big festival and they want to put it on Instagram.
Maybe.
Okay, but you know what? All those guys are millionaires. You see a whole bunch of rednecks slamming two beers together and slamming.
And that's why I love it.
I know. You're a redneck. That's fine.
I love it.
I
guess-
guess I don't put it down. It's honestly like there's some
You just put it
really-
down for 10 minutes.
No, I would prefer Formula One. I would watch a Formula One race over a NASCAR race any day.
Well, you enjoy waking up at 3 a.m. for Monaco.
Oh, I'll do that.
Yeah, me too.
It's actually 6.
All right.
o'clock.
6?
I'll be up. Set your alarm.
Alrighty.
And I'll record that motherfucker. And I'll watch it 3 or 4 times. But to see a car go in a circle, yes, I do oval racing. I know I'm very contradicting, but dude, they think about it. Turning left, right, you can arc it in a different way than you know what I mean. NASCAR
So you
seems
must-
like it's on one line.
So you must love Sonoma, Watkins Glen, and the Roval.
Sure,
They're okay. They're good. They're
They're
good
not-
tracks.
They're alright.
They're good tracks.
Because that's the only difference that you're really bringing up besides the cars cost a
Formula One.
bajillion dollars.
I like engineering. I
Dude,
like
I'm not
motors,
gonna
I
lie.
like
The
motors.
racing is not as close. I get that. I understand that. But they're not going to be. They're going faster. If the cars are going faster, the racing's not going to be as close. Period.
Yeah, I agree.
with that one.
That's just what it is. They're the fastest race cars there are in the world, I'm pretty sure.
I just don't think it's good racing. I think it's interesting. and
I think they need to slow the
appreciate
cars
it.
down. The racing will be better. Like, the slower the racing, the better it is, normally.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
I'd be more apt to watch it. For one, if there was, I think personally, if an American was doing well in the series, I'd be more apt to watch it. And then two, I would be a lot more apt to watch it if there was better racing product. Because as much as I appreciate the strategy side of things,
Sure.
I also need to be supplemented by racing because that's kind of the name of the sport.
Okay.
But the other thing I would do is I would take a Formula One driver and put him in NASCAR. I'll take a NASCAR driver and I'll put him in a Formula One.
Okay,
car.
I'm
And
glad
I'll
you
see-
brought that up
and I'll
because I had
see
a point
who
for
do
that.
Kyle Larson would be the only person I think would be halfway.
Listen,
there.
Cody. Indianapolis 500, pretty neutral area right there. Fernando
Still
Alonso
doing it.
comes in with as much money as he can fucking throw at a program, right? With McLaren this weekend, misses the Indianapolis 500. Kurt Busch goes there.
You're turning left.
Kurt Busch goes there a couple years ago, finishes 10th in his first ever IndyCar run.
Okay. What were you gonna say?
Okay. So what are you putting it down to? So you're saying that Fernando is the reason they didn't make it? Or the team?
I'm just saying, Kurt Busch, in his first attempt, finished 10th.
Did you watch like those onboards? Like I watch the onboards of them going around the racetrack, dude. It's like it's all car. It's all car, especially at that level.
Formula One isn't?
Hasn't McLaren been struggling for like the last 4 or 5 years? So you expect them to just, oh well, we're McLaren, we're gonna go to IndyCar and they're gonna be good? Well, you're still struggling in Formula One. So
I think that Fernando also should have just bought a ride with someone already well established in the sport.
it probably
Instead of trying to
would've
play
been way
big
better
dick
off
game.
for sure.
I'm better than you, European, and then come and try to overrun.
No, what I'm saying by that is Formula 1 drivers, they came from go-karting, like me and you, and they worked their way up. NASCAR, half of the drivers, except for Kyle Larson, just kind of went like...
The only driver you know is Kyle Larson, huh?
I love Kyle Larson to death. I really don't care for anybody else out there. I really don't. I think they're all just...
Larson, right here.
Yeah,
Right here. Larson.
There's a
I
reason
think
wear
they're more mouth than anything else. NASCAR.
I think we could all agree to disagree on that one, boys.
I just hear a lot of bitching, and a lot of complaining.
I hear the same stuff with the European stuff. I'm just telling
not
you.
as much.
I just want to see a good race, and I want to see the driver make a difference.
But the Netflix special
in
is
the end of
awesome.
all this,
It
go
is.
watch a fucking sprint car race.
Yes.
Or a midget race.
I think we can
That's
all
a good
agree with
point.
that.
agree with that one.
we can
Can
agree
we
with
agree
that
on
one.
that one?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Because I would much rather sit down and watch a sprint car or a midget race over a Formula 1 race or a NASCAR race.
I think we can all agree on that one, boys.
Yes.
All right. With that, we already ate up a whole lot of time, so we're going to have to move on to the watch list with that. But you guys, thank you so much for coming on and arguing with me.
Yeah,
It's
anytime, bud.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Stop the bus.
we can do that again sometime.
Let's go.
You guys
Wait. Who are your picks for this weekend? Can we do that?
for all three series?
Yeah, what do you got?
Man, I'll go Vettel.
That's
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That'd be mine. Okay.
I'm gonna go Vettel. I think Ed Carpenter. And for the 600, oh man, that's gonna be a toss up. But I'm gonna have to throw Kevin Harvick in the hat.
That's a good one.
What about you?
I'm going to go Lewis. I want to go Ed Carpenter. I think it's a good one. And then, it's a tough one.
Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch.
Okay, Cody.
I don't know. Because you said all the ones. I like Lewis and I like all them, so I don't know. It'd be a toss-up between all those drivers, to be honest with you.
Well, we'll
Good
see.
input.
Oh,
We'll have to
I-
ask Matt.
Yeah, ask Matt.
Yeah,
Ask
let's
Matt.
have
That'd be
some
perfect.
bets.
We'll ask
But
Matt.
no,
we'll have our
honestly,
bets
like
going.
it would be between all those drivers because
No, I got my money on Lewis for sure, though.
you do.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm leaning more towards
Vettel.
Vettel.
It's
We'll
like you
see.
in Golden State, dude, don't you?
Golden State.
I know where you
boys.
sleep, dude. I know where you sleep.
Oh, hey, you just argued with two roommates.
I know. I had to play mediator on that one a little bit. Well,
Nah, we did good.
no, but seriously, thank you guys so much for joining me. We'll have you back on here pretty soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, no
Hopefully
problem.
after the race.
go.
Because then I'll tell you how shitty NASCAR is again.
Don't go anywhere because the watch list is right up next.
Oh, I got some. Here you go, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
It's an M&M.
Welcome back. I'm finally back on set after a couple weeks of my hiatus. Finally decided to cover our watch list here. But before I get into it, you want to start off the segment?
Yeah, so Matt's finally back. Where have you been?
Oh my gosh. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
But you really haven't been everywhere. You went to Las Cruces.
Yeah, within the state. Yeah. But I mean, there's not much going on my personal life end. But
It's a very subtle way to say that you were
to be
alone.
honest, I kind of wanted to take a little bit of a break from Wheels Up just to let some other people get in, get their airtime, and see if that changed our viewage and see if that's what people really like. And this will be a good way to test out if that's actually a thing. So, but I am glad to be back. I know you really care about it, so that's
Yep.
there's my definition. Yeah. So, anyways, you want to cover the watch list here?
Sure.
Cool.
Let's roll with the watch list. Up first, as always, NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series. Next race for them is going to be Texas on Friday, June 7th for the Rattlesnake 400. That's going to be 9 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. NASCAR Xfinity Series this weekend from Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Alsco 300. Of course, that's 1 p.m. Fox Sports 1 on Saturday, May 25th. Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series for the longest race of the year, the Coca-Cola 600 miles around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. That's Sunday, May 26th, 6 p.m. You can find that on Fox. And the Indianapolis 500 for the NTT IndyCar Series from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Such a storied event. That's coming at you Sunday before the Coke 600 at 12:45 p.m. on NBC. And of course, as Devon mentioned earlier, if you really want to be an overachiever this Sunday, you can also watch Monaco, which I believe he said was at 6 a.m.
Headed over to the drag racing side of things, NHRA will have their Route 66 NHRA Nationals at Route 66 Speedway. That'll be Sunday, June 2nd at 5:30 p.m. Catch that on Fox Sports 1. World of Outlaws NOS Energy Sprint Cars headed over to Charlotte for the Patriot Nationals. That'll be Friday, May 24th on Dirt Vision. NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series over at Memphis International Raceway. This will be a points race. Saturday, June 1st, that'll be on Fans Choice TV. And to round it out, the ARCA Menard Series having the General Tire 150 over at Charlotte Motor Speedway Friday, May 23rd, 9 p.m. That will be on Fox Sports 1.
Thank you, Matt.
Absolutely. That's about the only thing I can cover professionally on this podcast, so glad to be back.
Gotta stick to what you do best.
Right.
And you do
if I go
give
any,
a mean watch list.
I do. Well, half of it at least. So
Yeah.
if I, expand on anything more than that, it's iffy.
Yeah, very iffy.
But it is good to be back. We'll see if I'm here next Monday. Do we plan on doing a few more? I know we said you were busy in June.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it rolling. Yeah.
Okay. Weekly?
Actually, when I'm traveling in June, I'm gonna try to grab some interviews with some out of town guests and stuff. So that'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
Kind of work on that here in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome. Well, that sounds good.
How's your b-ball team?
They've been out since February, so not good.
So why have you been missing on Mondays?
I'm a busy dude. I mean, I got people to see, places to be, so can't blame me for that.
Gotcha.
Don't expect me next week. I'm just here for the watch list, so let's keep it short, let's keep it clean, and I'll see you next week.
I think Matt said it best. For Matt Omick, I'm Spencer Hill. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. That's Wheels Up Wednesday. Of course, as always, Twitter and Instagram the same, at Wheels Up Podcast. And if you haven't already, click that like button and subscribe while you're at it below this video. You can also click on notifications on Facebook as well to keep up to date with all that we have going on. Thank you guys for another good show, and we will see you next Wednesday. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Me too.